Hi, welcome to the martial art world. I'm Cindy Ming and this is my co-host George Strickland. On this show we have exciting kickboxing. And from the National Black Belt League, exciting women's fighting, the Grand Championships with undisputed world champion Christine Bannon fighting for her title. George, tell us about the rest of the show.
Well, Cindy, we'll go to the Masters in Action to see Sifu Alan Goldberg. He'll do the break of the month. And from Inside Karate, editor John Soet. Plus, we'll have much more kickboxing. So don't touch that dial. The Martial Art World Special will return in a moment.
The Martial Art World is sponsored in part by Inside Kung Fu and Inside Karate, the finest martial art magazines available anywhere. Look for them today.
And now to Brooklyn, New York for exciting kickboxing, where John Burke and George Strickland are at ringside. So let's go.
Introducing in the blue corner, he weighed in at 183 pounds. He stands 6 feet tall. Originally from Russia, now calls Brooklyn his home. Welcome, please, Alex Stepaniko. He weighed in at 182 pounds. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall. From Ozone Park, Queens, welcome, please, Matt Casale.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We've got from Brooklyn via Russia, the USSR, Mr. Alex Stepaniko, fighting a young man from Ozone Park, Queens, hometown boy, Matt Casale. 23 years old, 24 years old, 185, 183, 5'9" and 6 feet. They're very close. I don't really see Stepaniko at 6 feet. But then maybe Matt's not really 5'9", but they look pretty evenly matched here. And Stepaniko is wearing the red pants. Casale is wearing the black pants. Okay, here we go. A lot of action in the ring. Watch Casale's trying to get inside.
Well, they're going to get their kicks in right away, that's for sure.
You hope so, after you see a guy lose on the counter kicks, or not win on the counter kicks in this case.
Yeah, that's the definite difference right there.
Now these Russian fighters I've seen before, they've got a lot of heart. They train for stamina. They usually do very well in the long run.
And they come straight at you, John. If you stand in front of them, they blast away.
Different kinds of fighters.
You can see he's keeping his distance by just flicking the leg out, even by not throwing it. He's keeping the distance to try to use a little bit of his height. The man who can jam and counter will score the most points.
Stepaniko, red pants, red top. Casale, black top, black pants.
Right now, there's a lot of techniques going out.
A lot of stuff being thrown from a distance.
Not very effective, but
not much
being
landing
used.
here. And Stepaniko hit Casale on the button that time.
Right, straight on the jaw with the right hand.
Good shot of it from here.
Straight ahead, like I said, straight ahead, comes at you.
Yeah, Casale's a different style fighter than Stepaniko.
All right, he's going to pick his shots at this point.
Stepaniko is really looking very carefully. And he's headhunting right now. He's looking for a shot.
Good series of lefts, lead lefts with the right hand over top. Now he's headhunting, and he's trying to...
Casale is moving away, but he's tried 2 spinning back fists. First one ineffective, second one landed on the side of the head of Stepaniko, but he is psyched. Stepaniko is psyched here.
It's a rough first round.
Yeah, Casale got a couple good punches in the nose there.
All right, round 2. Let's see what kind of condition both men are in.
Well, I can tell you that Stepaniko is going to try and pick up where he left off in the last round, and Matt Casale is going to try and keep him from doing just that.
Well, definitely one thing has to happen for Matt. He has to close the distance between him and Alex, and he's got to penetrate his defense. He's getting caught as he comes in. Good overhand right counter off the left. He's on the run now, though. He's taking shots. He's not moving his head enough. His head is too high.
Down too far, George.
Yeah, his hands are down too far.
He's not covering his head. And he's trying those spinning back fists, a lot of them.
And he's forgotten to throw the kicks. That front kick can keep a charging person off you. That's one of the most crucial kicks to know and to use in these bouts.
John Kalin is giving Casale a standing 8 count here. I think he got nailed pretty hard there in that last one.
Yeah, the fatigue is definitely setting in.
Well, those punches on the nose take their toll.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's had a few shots at the nose, so now it's the conditioning at this point.
It's a little blood now coming from the nose of Casale.
Steady overhand left and right combinations. Right on the jaw.
His headgear is bothering him a little bit now.
Overhand right to the top of the head. And the referee has seen enough.
John Kalin is
and he's going to call it
at the right moment. We definitely see a hurt nose on Casale. He'll be back, though.
Very good fight for Alex. Excellent fight for him.
And Matt Casale. By a technical knockout, Alex Stepaniko.
Alex Stepaniko. Technical knockout winner in the round. And he salutes the crowd who was booing him at the beginning.
Martial Art World went to San Jose, California for the National Black Belt League Women's Grand Championship Fighting Competition. Now to that story.
Well, John, here we have the women's finals. We have the flyweight versus the featherweight first. Then we'll have the lightweight versus the middleweight. And then the winner of those two.
Nice technique, Christine.
The winner of those two will fight off to become the national women's champion. Christina Bannon, we've seen her win the forms competition. Here she is back fighting in the white uniform and black pants, a member of the John Paul Mitchell's team. Round kicks into a hook kick to the head. A 2-point technique for Christina Bannon, opening the scoring with a 2-point lead. Her opponent in the red, Michelle Johnson from Springfield, Massachusetts, also a very game competitor. This should be an exciting match between these two very quick and controlled women fighters. And a 3rd point for Christine Bannon. The lead now 3-0 in favor of Bannon. A back fist by Bannon. First followed and returned by a punch by Michelle. But the score first was by Bannon, giving her 4-0 lead. A back fist over top by Michelle, by Bannon, dropping Michelle to the floor. 5-0 score.
Right hook. Very hard, very accurate too. The way Christine just catches him on the way down, on the way in, with the kicks, punches, all around. Very good targeting. She's definitely on her mark this week. It's also got her tape.
Jumping up in the air over the kick of Michelle Johnson with a back fist of her own, and a 6-0 lead by Christine Bannon, the 1991 World Women's Champion, here fighting for another national title against Michelle Johnson of Springfield, Massachusetts. Again, Michelle very aggressively trying to come back in and get herself onto the scoreboard there. Again, not enough votes for a verification. A double kick by Bannon, a kick to the body, then to the face, giving us another 2-point kick to Bannon. The score at the end of time, 8-0. Christine Bannon.
That's the highest score differential so far in the sparring here, at 8 points ahead.
Certainly not from a lack of effort by Michelle Johnson, John. However, Christine is quite a sharp young lady, and this now advances her to the final. She will be fighting the winner of the next match coming up between the lightweight and middleweight women's first place
White and
winner.
blue uniform, we've got Peaches Sims. Well, Peaches is her nickname. Kierston Sims is her real name. I call her Peaches. She lets me. Cynthia Prouder, who also a very tough competitor. Both these young ladies, very tough competitors. They've both been working very hard here. I know Cynthia, Kierston has been judging and officiating and just putting her whole heart into this the past several days. And here she is in the Grand Championship ring in the final fighting, and she's ultimately come up against some of the top women in the NBL.
You have Cynthia in the black uniform from Los Angeles, California, and Peaches in the white, of course, with the blue trim from Dorchester, Massachusetts. By the way, John Sims, Peaches was another member from the U.S. team that went to the World Championships. She did quite an impressive performance over there. And she opens the score with a point, with the first point of the match. Score 1-0 at this point. We have two judges calling for each player. That cancels it out. So in that last encounter, no one scored. Both fighters fighting aggressively. And now Cynthia Prouder gets on the scoreboard with a point of her own, 1-1.
I know that Prouder is not an uncommon name, but I wonder if Cynthia is related to Alman, the kickboxer who has been around for many years. We'll have to find out later.
Well, we have Cynthia now with a 2-1 lead. And with this last encounter, a 3-1 lead. Now, Peaches really has to turn it on here and bring the fight to her. It looks like she did. Let's see what the judges say here. We got a second point for Peaches. The score 3-2 in favor of Cynthia Prouder still at this point.
Important to keep the score close in these matches. If you let your competitor get out too far ahead, it's going to be unreachable because the matches are short. And there you go. It's tied up now. Either competitor can take this one. Ooh, good technique from the part of Kierston. Punch to the face. I didn't see the other technique that was called by the other judge.
Time is called and a final point on the bell for Cynthia Prouder. The score 4-3, and Cynthia Prouder now advances to the final round against Christine Bannon for the Women's National Championship.
Oh boy, it's going to be quite a match.
Well, John, here we are in the final round for the women's national title with Christine Bannon in the black and white uniform and Cynthia Prouder in the black. It looks like a kick by Bannon. Yes, a point to Bannon now to open the score 1-0. John, this Christine never fails to amaze me with the sharpness of her technique, and she's a very smart fighter. You see her coach there, Bannon-Rodrigues, who is also, by the way, her husband.
Yes, and you know, Christine, her kicking is a science. She is really the master of bringing that foot up and put it right where the point is. And she's sharing that information. She put her tape together, kicking her way to the top with Christine Bannon-Rodrigues, which is out there for those folks to find. If you want to kick like Christine, take a look at that one. And I'll bet you that Prouder was wishing that she didn't have to fight this one. Whoa! A little bit of action after the bell.
Okay, we have a contact call against Prouder, excessive or continuing after the stop there. A conference between the judges who must make a decision here. We have a very frustrated Cynthia Prouder here now coming in, Christine covering herself. We have a 2-point kick to Bannon in that last encounter.
And
another 2-point
her
kick.
coach and spouse is getting very psyched up there.
The scorekeeper's only giving her 1 win instead of 2. The score is incorrect. Should have 8 points. Should have 8. She has 7 up there now. Should be and time is called. An 8-1 score with Bannon now the 1991 NBL Super Grand National Women's Fighting Champion. Quite a match. Quite a lady.
Well, there she is, the undisputed women's champion here at the NBL Super Grands. Christine Bannon-Rodrigues of the John Paul Mitchell team and her own school in Warwick, Rhode Island. Congratulations, Christine.
And now, from the Masters in Action exhibition, Sifu Alan Goldberg with a very unusual break of the month.
Can we have complete silence, please? Thank you.
Third strike.
And now for the second bout of the show, we go to kickboxing action with George and John at ringside.
Introducing in the blue corner, he weighed in at 135 pounds. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall with a record of 2 wins and no losses. From Findlay, Ohio, welcome please, Chad Smith. And in the red corner, he weighed in at 144 pounds. He stands 5 feet 4 inches tall with a record of 4 wins and 1 loss. From Brooklyn, New York, welcome please, Michael Santoro.
All right, folks, I hope you're ready for a hot fight. Michael Santoro out of Louis Neglia's dojo, fighting Chad Smith out of Findlay, Ohio. And these two youngsters, 19 and 20-year-olds, 143, 145 pounds, Height 5'4", 5'8". There's a close relationship here. Let's see how the fight goes. You got Michael Santoro in the black headgear, white pants. Chad Smith in the black headgear, black pants. Sitting here with George Strickland from the martial art world. George, we got some great fights for the folks at home.
Oh, most definitely. Just sit back and enjoy this action.
John Kalin, referee, center man.
All right. We're going to see. Both men come out kicking.
Matching kicks, matching punches. Santoro's coming on like a dynamo.
No question about it. He came in with kicks and he's blitzing him with hooks.
He wants to end this one fast.
Hooks. He's going to get a standing 8. He's okay, though. He's all right. One thing I say about Chad Smith, he takes a good punch.
He did, and Santoro's about to give him a whole bunch more.
He's taking a tremendous uppercut, a series of right hands. He's got a jaw, I'll tell you that, but he's taking a pulverizing amount of punches. He's almost ready to go down. I think this one is going to be another standing 8.
No, this is an occasion of a machine attacking at high speed.
And the fight is over, and a buzzsaw, Michael Santoro, comes in
He wanted it. He wanted it. A machine.
He came in like a tornado. He didn't give Chad Smith a chance to breathe.
I think he must have thrown 100 punches.
Easily, John. And they were on the button.
Introducing in the blue corner. He weighed in at 181 pounds. He stands 6 feet tall with a record of 5 wins and 1 loss. From McAdoo, Pennsylvania, welcome please, Robert Shandrick. And in the red corner, he weighed in at 188 pounds. He stands 6 feet 1 inches tall with a professional record of 13 wins and 3 losses. Currently the number 6 world-ranked cruiserweight and former tri-state champion from South River, New Jersey. Welcome, please, Dennis Boomer Schuette.
All right, here we are with Dennis Schuette and Robert Shandrick. Pretty well matched, 187, 188 pounds, 6 feet 6'1". We've seen Schuette fight before. We've seen Shandrick fight before. We've got Fred Corritone in the center as the referee. He's trained over 27 world-rated fighters since 1974, including Paul Vizio, Tony Arnaud, Steve Valencia, even Cookie Melendez and Scott Ashley. Lots of people, you know. The referee was a Golden Gloves boxing champ in the Air Force, and now Dennis Schuette in the gold pants, Robert Shandrick in the black pants coming out to open this fight up. I'm here with George Strickland III. George, host of the martial art world. What do you see? Whoa, spinning back fist, George.
Well, I see a lot of movement right now. Both men are going to try to get their kicks in as quickly as possible and try to probe each other to see who has a defensive weakness.
So far, Shandrick's coming out with a lot of punches. Schuette several kicks, sizing up his opponent. Dennis fighting out of South River, New Jersey. Shandrick out of McAdoo, Pennsylvania. Oh, I see that Schuette smells a little weakness on his opponent, trying to move in there.
Yeah.
Try to take advantage of any opportunity.
I noticed that Shandrick seemed to hurt his right hand. He was shaking it after a few shots.
Yeah, it looked like he may have twisted it on a punch there. It's possible it's bothering him, but that's not going to stop Dennis Schuette from moving in like a steamroller, which is his style.
And he's coming straight ahead, and he's not looking to evade. He's coming straight directly at his opponent. He feels he can go straight through his defense and power him out.
Fred Corritone checking out the fighter before letting the bout continue. Schuette moving in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 punches in a row.
Unanswered punches.
He stung Shandrick's eye. Shandrick is covering up. And Schuette is just looking. He wants to win here tonight.
Shandrick doesn't have the power to keep Schuette off of him. He's hitting him with shots, but they don't have the steam behind him to keep him, to keep him a distance away. Schuette's walking through all his shots. Rib shots, kidney shots.
Shandrick is also powerful.
Well, right now, that power's not registering because Schuette's walking through him.
Schuette missed that punch. All right. Then inside of the SKA Dojo in South River, New Jersey, Shandrick Okinawa Goju from McAdoo. Dennis Schuette out of the SKA Dojo in South River, New Jersey. Just won this match. Apparently Shandrick has hurt his wrist, may have broken, damaged, or sprained it.
I see that shot.
Very painful. George, of course, spotted that early on in the fight. And he was shaking his arm,
All right, due to a technical knockout
has been stopped as a result
of an injury to the wrist.
To the hand. As a technical knockout after round 1. Winner from South New Jersey, Dennis Boomer Schuette.
Dennis Boomer Schuette. He definitely looked like he was on his way to a victory, but unfortunately for the other man, he injured his right hand.
We'll see Robert Shandrick again.
I'm sure we will.
And now to an interview with Inside Karate editor John Soet.
You'll basically see more sport karate in Inside Karate for the simple reason that that's an idea whose time has come. In the beginning, we were more oriented towards traditionalists, but now we're trying to update the image and include the sport world within this overall attitude, as we put it. I would love to see a unified competition. I would love to see a real legitimate world champion who could legitimately claim this title, but at the moment it's a logistical impossibility. It would not be a logistical impossibility if through media control we could actually change the thinking of an entire generation of martial artists to aim a little higher. Like, I would like to be part of a unified body that could sanction tournaments and could sanction events that would not be controlled by, say, an individual promoter whose personal agenda would be promoting his own association. What I would like to see, again, I will never be known as the most diplomatic editor in the field. I basically divide karate or martial arts in America into two categories, the A-list and the B-list. The A-list are the descendants and the legitimate masters who have legitimately trained and arrived by virtue of longevity or by virtue of knowledge from legitimate ancient and modern systems. Ancient and modern, I mean, karate is a modern system. It was developed in the 20th century, really. The B-list is what I call the Shodan masters and their descendants. These were basically people who made it to first-degree black belt and proceeded to set themselves up as masters and have turned out generations of students under themselves. First-degree black belt, you've only learned the basics. In Asia, you can't even teach until you're at least a yondan. So the descendants of the first-degree black belts don't have anything but basics, and this is largely responsible for a lot of the public's misconceptions. So the first change I would like to see with the proliferation of more and more legitimate masters would be an upgrading of the image. The second thing I would like to see is unity in the community. I think this is vital because what people don't realize is that the mainstream media, it sounds like a paranoid conspiracy theory, believe me, I'm not a John Bircher. The mainstream media, though, is currently, we're back to the old hi-ya days. I mean, I've seen ads for video cassettes. It's martial arts night, hi-ya. They're ridiculing us. They really are. And the reason they're ridiculing us is because of misperceptions. If you look at America's Most Wanted, a martial artist with 3 months of training I mean, couldn't even legitimately be called a white belt, is described as trained in the martial arts and extremely dangerous. This is because there is no unity. Martial artists don't call up the phone, don't phone the networks and say, hey, you people don't know what you're talking about, and I am a martial artist, and I've devoted my life to that, and I'm very offended by that. So I think if we don't upgrade our image, we're in trouble.